Hello everyone, have a pleasant day. This is Dr. Srimati from Dr. Ambedkar Global Law Institute, Tirupati. Today we are going to see about partnership accounts. So before getting into that accounts, we want to know what is partnership. Let us see the fundamentals first. In order to meet the requirements of a growing business, the two or more persons may join together, okay, and they may bring a certain amount of capital and share the profits in an agreed proportion. Then such a relationship is called a partnership. So let us see what is the definition of it. So according to section 4 of Indian Partnership Act 1932, the partnership is defined as what it is: the relationship between persons who have agreed to share the profits of a business carried on by all or any of them acting for all. So this is about the definitions. With these definitions, we can see that there is about a persons making an agreement to carry the business for common purpose, which has been called the partners. Okay, individually and firm collectively. So the name under which their business is carried on is called as a firm's name. So their own name. So we can see that with this definition we can arrive some essential features of partnership. So what are the essential feature is there must be an agreement, okay, between two or more persons. As you know that in case of banking business there should not be more than 10 persons. In case of other business the maximum limit is 20 persons, okay. So here there must be an agreement between two or more persons. That is the first thing. And second one is the object of that agreement must be to share the profit of a business, okay. If either profit or loss, whatever it is, it should be shared among them. And then they must the business must be carried on by all or any of the partners concerned acting for all. It is possible. Suppose a partner who may not have that much of intelligence but having a capital, they may invest the capital and let the other partner to act for a business. So here the chances are there who is having the skills of doing a business, they are doing the business, okay. So here the partners, they are just agreeing for all, okay. And then this partnership form is formed to carry on a lawful business. And then it is about an association of two or more persons. Here the number of persons constituting a partnership must not exceed 10 in case of a banking business and 20 in case of other business. So with this definition we come to know what is about a partnership, and then what is about the essential features of a partnership. Then let us see the partnership deed. So here what is about a deed? It is an agreement between two or more persons who are carrying on a business. So here they may carry on this business jointly or for the common benefit of all. So here we can say that whether it is about a necessary partnership deed means it is not legally necessary the agreement in writing. So even it is about a oral agreement between the partner is more than enough. But it is about highly desirable that a written agreement between the partners. So here what is about an partnership deed means it is about a document or instruments which has been containing the agreement between the partners, that is known as partnership deed. So what are the things which is available in the partnership deed, or the items, or it should contain what are the clauses, okay. Means the first one is the name of the firm and the nature of the business. What is about a name of a firm and nature of a business, and then name and address of each and every partners, and then the duration if any. Say for example the partnership may constitute for a particular season at the time of example as like a seasonal fruit like a mango. For purchasing and selling of mango the partnership may constitute. So the duration is up to that particular season only. So if any duration is there, or for construction of any building, or for 1 year, just from the beginning of 1st January to 31st December like. So if duration if any of partnership form, that should be mentioned in that agreement. And then the total capital of a firm, and then share of each partner. What is about the total capital of the firm, and then the each share of each partner's shares, and then the ratio of sharing profit and losses. So here they must mention the ratio between the partners for sharing the profit and losses. Whether the capitals are to be fixed or fluctuating. This is about the problem what we are going to see in the next. Okay. So how the capitals are, whether it is about fixed nature or fluctuating nature. And then whether any interest is to be allowed to partners' capital, and if so, at what rate. And then the rate of interest on advances, and then whether any interest is to be charged on drawings, and if so, then what is the rate. And then the amount of salaries or some allowances, if any, which is allowable or payable to the partners. Then the amount which each partner can withdraw for their private purpose, that is the amount of drawings. And then the provision relating to keeping of proper books of accounts, what are the books to be prepared and which is to be kept ready. And then the period after which the final accounts are to be prepared, either after 6 months or after 3 months or after 15 days. So the period on which it is to be prepared. Then audit of the accounts, whether it is compulsory or it is not compulsory, how the accounts are to be treated. Then admissions of a new partner and the explosion of the existing ones. So is there possibility for admitting any partner? In case of a retiring partner, what are the rules and regulations? And then the methods of ascertaining the share of goodwill of a partner on his retirement or death. Then whether the decision in case of a Garner versus Murray is to be applied in case of insolvency of a partner. So this is about a case, Garner versus Murray. So this case is applicable only at the time of insolvency of a partner. For your thing, up to now we are not going to see this case. Okay. And then so this is about the things are important items which will be available for partnership deed. Okay, so it differs from one partnership deed to another partnership deed according to the nature of their business and then according to the partnership agreement. Okay, so here we can say that if there is no partnership deed among the partners, means then which rule will be applicable, that is. So the rule applicable in case of absence of partnership deed. So what is this? So in the absence of an agreement, so the following points are to be noted for proper accounting among the partners. So no one should be relieved from this. The first one is profit sharing ratio. So here if in partnership deed is absence about the sharing ratio, then the partners should share the profits and losses equally among them. Okay. And then interest on loan. So on any loan that is apart from capital advanced by partner, then he or she is entitled to interest on the same at 6% per annum. Then interest on capital, it is not allowed. No interest is to be allowed on capital. If under the agreement interest is to be paid, then it will be allowed only when there is about a profit. In case of loss, no interest can be allowed. Then salary to partners, the partners are not entitled for any salary other than remuneration. Then interest on drawings, no interest is to be charged on drawings. So this should be noted that the partners may change any of the points mentioned above by the agreement. So the partners, they may have their own agreement. Okay, in case of absence, the above points comes to the rule. So otherwise the partners may have their own partnership deed by having their own mutual agreement. So this is about partnership and then fundamentals relating to the definition, then features, then partnership deed, what are the contents of partnership deed, and then the rule applicable in the absence of partnership deed. And the balance in your next class. Until then, bye from Srimati. Thank you.